to be using estimation to solve for a product. So if I have 6 times 125, I want to estimate, which is not going to be as accurate as actually calculating, but it is a more simple form in doing so. So the larger the place value that I estimate to, the less accurate my answer is going to be, but the easier it will be to calculate. So if I have 6 times 125 and I'm going to round it to the nearest hundredths place, I would look at that right place and I'd follow the rule 4 or less, let it rest. So this 1 would get to stay. So I would be round, so 125 to the nearest 100 rounds to 100. So now I can multiply 100 times 6. So any type powers of 10. So if I have, 100, 200, those are all powers of 10, multiples of 10. Then I could just take my 6 times 1, which gives me 6. And then I would add on those 2 zeros. So 6 times 1, and since there's 2 zeros, I add those 2 zeros on. All right, so let's do another estimation. This time, let's estimate it to the nearest tens place. So 6 times 125, and I'm going to estimate it this time to the tens, to round it this time to the tens place. So right now, I have 2 tens. I'm going to look at my place value to the right. 5 or more, raise the score. Therefore, that 2 becomes a 3. The one place that I used to help me round, that becomes a 0. And that 1 right there has to stay. So now I have 6 times 130. So now I'm going to multiply 6 times my 3, which would give me 18. And I have to carry that 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus my 1 is 7, and then I would just add that 0 on. So look at the difference in the products that I got. So I estimated, I rounded quite down to the nearest 100, I got 100, and when I rounded to the tens place, I got 130, which is a little higher. And now let's actually solve it to see. So to solve it, I'm going to stack it, do the standard algorithm. 125 times 6. Always making sure you line up your place values. So 6 times 5, starting in my ones times my ones. 6 times 5 is 30. And I am going to regroup. I'm going to carry my little 3 down there at the bottom. So that reminds me that I got 30. 6 times 2 tens, that is 12. It's actually 120. So 12 plus my 3 is 15. There's my 5. Carry my 1 because I got 15. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus my 1 is 7. And I get 750. So when I rounded to the nearest hundreds, I got 600. When I rounded to the nearest tens, I got 780. And then when I actually solved it, I got 750. So of those, which is the most, of these estimations, which is the closer, which is more accurate? Rounding to the tens was more accurate. So yeah, the lower the place value that you round to, the more accurate number you're going to get. But this lesson was about estimating to find the product. And estimating means round, then solve.